Hey, we are going to get started, and still to come, we have a lot of beautiful flowers in the show, but in this show, we're going to start out with our Cottage Farms 3-piece Blue Boa Hummingbird Mint Live Plants. Loads of blooms,
yes.
Gets nice and tall, and you have that fragrant, rich color. There's so much to talk about here, but bring on the bees and the birds and the butterflies.
I'm so excited to be starting with this hummingbird mint because this is one of my favorite plants. It is one of those plants that it has both scented flowers and scented leaves for foliage.
Cool. Okay.
Yep, and so the leaves actually, let's pop one off so you can smell them. They have like a citrusy, almost licorice scent.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Which is great.
It's really a rich scent.
It is a rich scent, which is great. It attracts the pollinators, but not the deer. So I know that's a big thing that people are shopping for these days.
Really
They're
cool.
shopping for small space gardening, you're shopping for containers, and you're shopping for deer resistance.
Yeah.
So these actually fit all of those bills because hummingbird mint sometimes can get really out of control and wild.
For sure.
So this, we call it blue boa because it's, you know, the flowers are really long. You could like drape them around your neck.
It's an accessory in your garden.
But they are just going to be one of those plants that you can also put in containers if you want.
That's really cool. I know they show up like this, so we've already got some beautiful growth to it when it arrives.
Yep, and they're a full sun plant, so if you're thinking about where to put this, you're getting 3 of these, and they do get about 18 to 20 inches wide.
Okay.
So if you're putting them in the ground, consider their full-grown space when you're planting them. Consider that full sun component. They'll get about 24 to 30 inches tall, so that's a nice, decent size. They're more of a back of the border if you are going to put them in your garden. Put them a little bit towards the back.
Okay, there's about 1,000 of these to go around. So I think about it this way. In my garden, if I want something with a little bit of height, I think this would be a great way to go. Where would you put them in your garden?
Well, I love the different flower shapes. So here what we're also trying to do in our gardens is different textures. And, you know, I like some similar colors. So we have a lavender coming up. The lavender would be super cool with this. But the wands of these flowers are really long. So what I would do is I would create a little pollinator garden. We have our monarch garden plants coming up.
What a good
We have our
idea.
lavender, we have our daisies. We have so many great pollinator plants in this show. You can create a little mini pollinator garden. And I would take these and put them towards the back. Of all of those plants, these are going to be your tallest.
Well, when we get them, that's when it's time to plant them.
Exactly.
So this is the thing. If you've been waiting all gardening season, you've been planning out your garden, and you're thinking, ooh, I really do need something with a little height. I'd love to get some pollinators into the garden. I would love to attract more of those. This is a great way to go. But it's $11.77 off. So remember, this is Cottage Farms' final hour show of the season on QVC. So it's 3 easy payments of $9.99. And I think of it this way, you're getting 3 plants.
Yeah.
So it's less than $10 a plant, which think about what you would spend going to the big box store and you have to carry it home.
Yeah.
This way, they show up at your front door and they're on free shipping. But I have to say, the foliage is gorgeous too. I mean, the blooms are beautiful, but I love the foliage.
I love the foliage too. We'll spend a minute talking about that because one of the things that I love in my garden is planting, but I don't love weeding. So I look for plants that do have a dense base of foliage, and so this hummingbird mint has that. So it's going to block out the weeds, but the flowers are the real show here. And these, we call them at Cottage Farms, we call them perpetuals. Not every plant gets a name like that.
Yeah,
but our hummingbird mint gets the moniker perpetuals because this is a perennial. It works for most people in the country. It's going to go zones 5 through 9, so this is a great versatile plant for you, but it also will be a perpetual bloomer. It blooms like an annual, which means it's going to start blooming in late spring and keep blooming for you all the way through till a frost.
So if I wanted to grab the daisies that are coming up, I love the daisies. Can these grow together?
Would go beautifully together. Now, these Shastas are going to be about 24 inches.
Okay.
So you could even do almost a zigzag pattern with a purple plus then a pop of white a little bit towards the front, and then a purple with a little pop of white towards the front.
Oh, I love that idea.
Because really pretty.
Sometimes if we've grown mint before, anything in the mint family, anytime it says mint, you know that it's something that can kind of take over.
Yes.
So we don't have to worry about that with these?
No, exactly. This is a different type of mint family, so it will not run like our herb mint.
Yeah, gosh, my mint took, I put some in my veg truck. I just bought some mint at the store. First mistake. And it took over the whole balcony. And I thought, okay, learned my lesson.
Yeah, let's pull back on the mint.
But remember, you get all 3, and these are perennials, so they're going to come back year after year.
Better and better, but you will get flowers this year. Next year is what you see on your screen is more what your garden will look like. You know, that's the size of your mature plant next year. But this year, you will absolutely get flowers. you will get those pollinators, you get the fragrance, and that's just this is a hard working, problem-solving plant in our garden. As we said, it chokes out the weeds, it starts to pop up early. So I'm looking around my garden now, and if the plant hasn't popped up yet, my Lord, guess who has? The weeds. So I want this plant is popping up now, and then those beautiful wands of those long blue flowers that will bloom longer for you in your garden than, you know, your annuals. We have room in our gardens for everything.
For
Flowers, shrubs, trees, perennials, annuals, we love them all. But this one is going to bloom like an annual for you.
I love that in the box, even for people like me who I am overconfident in the garden. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. And then when it comes down to it, I think, I could use some help. We get the guide.
Yes.
So this really helps walk you through. And it even tells you, you know, the hardiness zones, which plant type, planting distance in the ground, everything in your guide. Don't throw this out. Keep it. Keep it, keep it. It'll help you through. These are the Hummingbird Mint live plants. These are the blue boa, and you're getting 3 of them. And the price is gone at the end of the day. This is the first day at that sale price. But we're moving on to our next item in the show because we have an entire hour this morning. And I just want to remind you, in case you're tuning in, you're going to hear me saying this quite a bit.